Hi YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. So, do you know what you were doing 10 years ago? I mean, do you have a clear, vivid memory of 10 years ago, 2009? The one thing I do remember, and the subject of this video, is what weight loss surgery was like 10 years ago as compared to today. And today, I'm going to share with you 7 things that I've noticed that has changed in weight loss surgery procedures, changed with me, and just changed overall that I've noticed since 2009. So, as I have mentioned in previous videos, I actually tried to get weight loss surgery years back, and I realized, looking through my online medical history, that I started the process the first time in 2009, probably in the middle. It may have even been the end of 2008. I'm not sure because the records only took me back to July of 2009, which coincidentally was the last appointment that I had for that round of me trying to get lap band surgery, which I've explained before, totally stopped everything because they found I had a goiter and my thyroid had to be removed. So after that, I could see where I had surgery and everything after that. So I can't tell you exactly when, but basically it was 10 years ago. So I started thinking like, wow, that's a long time. And it made me look more into just how things were back then, what's changed, what I noticed have changed. And I thought I would share them with you guys today. I decided to go with 7 because 7 is my lucky number, and I really couldn't think of 10 things. First of all, let's picture 2009, okay? So in 2009, Barack Obama was inaugurated as president right in the beginning in January. In 2009, Avatar came out. I remember I saw it Christmas Day. As well as in 2009, Usher introduced Justin Bieber to the world right on YouTube. In fact, YouTube was still a baby. YouTube had only been out maybe 4 or 5 years itself. So 2009 really wasn't that long ago, but it sure feels like it, to listen to just think about it in those terms. It feels like a long time ago. So again, top 7 things I've noticed, no particular order. Well, actually, I did separate it. I separated from the business aspect and the surgical aspect to the personal aspect. And you'll see what I mean as I go on. So, the very first thing that I've noticed, and I have gone on about it, I think I've said it in other videos, the process is so more streamlined. I remember back in 2009 being kind of frustrated with some of the process because it was just like you had to make the appointments yourself, and that stretched it out so much. It just seemed like I would never ever get to a surgery date because again, the last appointment that I had was in July, but I was at the end. I had did a lot of stuff before July, and I remember. I mean, maybe I started in January, or maybe it was December of the year before, but I had did everything. I was like maybe one step away from a date. I remember that distinctly because that's what kind of pissed me off about it, because I was like, I'm so close, and here it's going to end up, I'm not going to get my date because now I got to stop with this whole thyroid thing because they're not going to do anything till that's handled. So everything has just been more streamlined. Maybe it's because my hospital, they became streamlined with their record taking. So since everything I do is in their same network, They have all my appointments right there. They have materials that they didn't have before. I did not remember getting this book that I have in, I'll take a picture and insert it so you guys can. But it's like this booklet with all these different things, that like a work booklet almost. They didn't have that before, because if they did, I know I would have saved it. It's just so much better. I mean, I guess they got it all figured out now, because it can't be any easier. It really can't. I mean, I've been stacking appointments, and I'm pushing myself through the process. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'll probably be done all of my appointments long before that 6 months is up at the rate I'm going, because outside of the psych appointment and the nutritionist, and I got to do a support group meeting, which I already said I was going to wait until the spring to kind of drag it out some. Like probably like April, I'll be trying to do that, or even May, just to drag it out some. I'm not, feeling pressed to do that. I know I got to do it, so I will do it. But it's just the process. It's like, bravo, Penn Medicine, University of Pennsylvania, Presbyterian Hospital. Y'all got this shit down pat. Good job. Second thing I noticed, number 2, is back then I was getting lap band, which was, I guess, the most popular thing next to the actual gastric bypass surgery, which even then I didn't want to get. I just thought it was a little bit too involved. And I've said before, I'm kind of glad that I did not get it. I know there are a lot of people on YouTube and people that I know in my personal life that have gotten the band and they've had issues. Leakage, slippage, or they couldn't get it adjusted and they gained weight back. A friend of mine said that his cousin had it and she literally burst through it. I don't know what she was eating. She must have been eating bricks, but that happened. So actually, I'm kind of glad that I didn't get it now, because so many people are either having it removed and getting the sleeve, or they're just having it removed because it's just causing them issues. So yeah. So that's another thing I noticed. A third thing that I noticed that I have to admit tickles me pink. Now, I don't know if this is a change with just my insurance company, or maybe if the weight loss industry has finally maybe figured out that it's not a good idea to make patients lose weight before they get weight loss surgery as a mandatory requirement. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I remember back in 2009, they were telling me I had to lose 10% of my body weight. And at that time, that was still over 25 pounds. And I was like, if I can lose 25 pounds like that, I wouldn't be here. And I always thought, like, people that are really, like, struggling with higher weights, like, it was just unfair. Like, truth be told, if they told me now that I had to lose 10% of my body weight, I would be struggling more. I would be struggling more. I know about the fatty liver. I know I'm going to have to do like the 2-week diet. Like, I know that, and I try to go back every time I have an appointment. My goal is to, even though I don't have that requirement, I don't want to gain. And if I can, I want to lose, even if it's a pound or 2, because then that shows them I'm doing something right. You know what I mean? Like, I'm actually putting this stuff into practice. And so far, I can't tell how much I've lost, because every scale is different. I've gone to appointments on the same day, and again, they're all in the same network, so I can see each appointment, and every appointment they take my weight, and I've been one weight in one building and one weight in the other. So, and then my scale at home is totally different, but it hasn't gone up, and that's all that matters. Even the nutritionist told me last week, the last time I was there, I had on a lot of heavy clothes, and I was really trying, and I know my scale at home was saying I lost like 4 pounds. That day, by the time I finished my other appointment, I was so like grouchy and pissed off that when I got on the scale, I did not remove all of this heavy ass clothes. It was cold that day. And I had a heavy sweater on, and I had on a lot of heavy boots. I didn't remove anything. And at home, of course, I weighed myself nude, or damn near nude. And I think the scale said maybe I lost like a pound and a half or something like that. And I was like, really? I know that shit wrong, but I didn't even care that day. I was like, whatever. As long as it didn't go up. As long as they don't see, me going on the upswing. I don't care. So, yeah, I'm feeling that. That's number 3. Number 4, of course, one of the main things that have changed is, like, in the case of my surgeon, it's been done for 10 years. So they have data now that tells you, there are people that are 10 years out, 15 years out. So there is data now that could tell you, okay, this is going to happen. This is the success rate. I remember hearing about people dying on tables for gastric. When weight loss surgery first really start popping off, I can remember people dying. So, for lack of better words, I'm glad they have worked out the kinks. When this surgery people first start doing this surgery. In fact, at my job itself, which is another reason why I wish I would have did it back then, but that's another story. Everybody got it. I mean, it was popping. People was getting it left and right. That was like, everybody was getting it. Everybody was getting it because, especially since back then, our job paid for our insurance. So like now, I have to pay. I'm paying for my insurance, and back then we didn't have copays for specialists. Now I have to pay a copay for all of these specialists. So it is a difference, which is another reason why I wish I would have did it sooner. But I understand it wasn't meant to be. Now I feel it's meant to be. So, but that's the other thing. Speaking of meant to be, I am a firm believer in, things happen for a reason. I don't believe in coincidence. I do believe that there has to be a certain level of both, in my mental and spiritual health to be aligned. Now it's just like I want to get my physical health aligned there. Because I'm different. I'm a totally different woman than I was 10 years ago, and I think what time has taught me in those 10 years is, I'm more willing to put myself first. I did not do that in my marriage. I did not do that, say, 15, 20 years ago because my kids were younger. My kids were young. So I had myself on the back for a long time. I had myself on the back, and I'm not ashamed to say that because I know a lot of moms, women, and some men, it's very common when you're trying to raise kids and take care of family and be a family to put yourself first because everybody looks to you to do everything, to cook, to clean, school stuff, like everything is on you. And at that time, I really did not put myself first. Now, I'm first, and I understand that. And I feel like that's why it's important for me to do that, which brings me until number 6. The other thing that I've noticed with myself in this case. So, in looking at these records, I'm looking through everything. And again, this system is just great. It's dope. I can see my weight as well as my blood pressure and everything that day. Well, now that I have my dates right, I can see how much I was weighing when I went to that last appointment. And then I can see how much I weighed when I got my thyroid out, like my first follow-up appointment after my thyroid was removed. And I had gained 20 pounds. Now, my appointment was in July. That was my last appointment with the bariatric team. By the time I went through everything with the endocrinologist people and the surgeon and everything, I did not have my surgery until, I guess I do remember, it was November the 11th, 11/11. And I picked that date because I remember she's like, well, let's schedule your surgery. So I picked that date because I was like, that's a good number. And between that July and that November, I gained 20 pounds. Between that 20 and today, I gained an additional 40 pounds. So since my first weight loss journey back in 2009, where I did not go through with the surgery, to today, I've gained 60 pounds. 60 pounds. Yeah, that's deep. Besides the fact that I've gained 60 pounds, of course, I've grown 10 years older, which means it's harder to carry that extra weight. And when I think of 60 pounds, like when I had my party, I got 20-pound bags of ice. I got two. And I struggled to carry those 2 bags of ice from my car, which was parked in front of my house, inside to a cooler that I had sitting in the kitchen, which is nowhere. But that shit was heavy. It was heavy. So imagine a whole nother bag of ice. This is ice. This ain't fat. This is ice. So yeah. So this is necessary. I feel like this is my last chance. Like, I look at these videos on YouTube and stuff, and everybody look young. Everybody looks like they're still, I've seen people, teenagers. I've seen a lot of 20-year-olds. I've seen 30-year-olds. I've seen 40-year-olds. I don't see a lot of women that are, 50s and up. I don't see a lot of people. If they're there, I haven't seen them. Or they must not be telling their age, and they just look really good, so I don't know that's how old they are. But I can't wait. I can't wait. I don't want to be trying to do this at 60. I don't want to be trying to do this, at 55 or something like that. I can't wait. I can't wait because there's things I want to do, And finally, one of the other things that I've learned that has changed since 2009 is the availability of support. Now, maybe back then I just wasn't on top of things enough to know that there was actual support out there more than the message boards, which is what I was dealing with. I remember getting on message boards, and that shit was a pain. It was a pain. It truly was a pain in the ass. But I remember, that was the cusp of my support, outside of my daughters they were young teenagers then, so they were, they were like, whatever, Mom, like, you're not gonna die, right? Whatever you want to do, Mom. But now, the support is astronomical. Like, besides support groups, besides, the still message boards, YouTube. Yes, I will sing the praises of YouTube because it really, truly has helped me so much. And I feel so happy that I can come on YouTube and pretty much at any stage of this process, I can get some information from somebody because somebody shared it. Whether it's they're telling you about how the psych appointment is. I've seen things where people are telling you what to take to the hospital. What if, those brave souls that will take video straight out of surgery all drugged up. So, like, they keep it real. They like, it hurts. It's so much information. And I'm the type of person that I listen for consistencies. Because I do know that everybody is not the same. I was watching a video the other day, and this woman was going on about the myths. It was something about, like, the myths and the lies, and she was able to do a lot of things that they said that you can't do, like drink out of a straw, for example. And I had to realize, like, okay, that's, something that she can do, but the majority of the people that I've heard say that that's not something that you're going to really be able to do. So I'm going to go with that for now, you know, because I also know there is a process of learning what you can take and what you can eat and what you can drink and all of that. So, but the fact of the matter is, there is information out there. I can go and I can watch a video or 2 or 12 of somebody that's sharing this experience and real, you know, whether it's somebody that's doing it and they're 5 years out, you know, or somebody that maybe had it done just, you know, a couple of months ago. It doesn't matter. Somebody out there sharing some aspect of their experience, and it's giving people like myself and you know, people coming in and trying to learn about it. It's just giving this community a great opportunity to share information, and I love it. I love it. I love doing the videos, being a part, sharing what I know, as well as getting all of this new information and getting more comfortable with feeling like I can do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, just it's encouraging. It's just totally encouraging. So thumbs up to YouTube. So that, my darlings, will be the video for this week. Thank you for tuning in to video number 4 of my pre-op VSG experience. Please remember to subscribe and like the video. If you have any comments, please leave them below. Please feel free to follow me on Instagram. I try to keep it updated as much as possible, but please come over, check out my Instagram page. If you follow me and request to follow, if you follow me, I will follow you, but the page is private, so you will have to request it. So thank you for watching. Have a great day, and don't forget, love yourself more. Bye.